What is up? What is up? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Peer-to-Pier Travel Chats. So, hey, what's up, man? So, just quick little word of admin. Obviously, if you're listening on the podcast, you can't see this, but this is a live stream that's going to be converted to podcast, so the hosts are not going to be able to interact in the chat. However, our moderators will be able to. We don't want to prevent you guys from interacting in the chat, but don't be mad at us because, I'm here to play with Naughty and Naughty's here to play with me.
Hey, you already know, bro. Beard to beard. Let's go.
So, yeah, man. So here's the deal. What is this? We hadn't put a whole lot of information out, but me and Mike, we decided that we want to try our hand at doing podcasts, and we both like JRE and kind of how that plays out. So this is going to serve as the intro to our podcast known as Peer-to-Pier. I am Josh from the Moonlight Adventures. My wife and I, that's our YouTube channel. And my cohort to the right of me as I'm looking, and to the right of you, I'll let him introduce himself.
My name is Mike. I am the Naughty Cruiser. Y'all already know, the one and only Naughty Man. And that's my YouTube channel. Doing everything naughty. It's a play on words, so don't get your minds in the gutter already. We're only 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the show. So
this show might be straight out of the gutter. I don't know.
You never know, man.
You never know.
From the bottom, now you're here. So
we're going to try to keep it PG-13, but you never know. Also, if you look in the description, if you wish, and also StreamBot or Stream Elements is going to help us out. The StreamBot. If you'd like to come on the show at some point, hit us up at moonlightadventures757@gmail.com with your channel handle and why you'd like to come on, and we'll consider all requests. So, we already have 4 weeks lined up right now, so pretty excited about that. We'll reveal what those 4 weeks are going to be about as we move on, but like I say, this is just going to kind of be an open discussion. So my thought on this whole thing was everyone has their favorite creator. Everyone has creators that they enjoy watching, but you don't really know the creators. You get a piece of them. You know how they are when they travel, but you don't know them. So, we may talk about traveling. We may rag on some of our fellow creators, but it's going to be centered around people that either are travel creators or play some part in the travel game. So, it could be folks like that work at an amusement park. I don't know, but centered around travel, but just an open discussion to see where things go. And, when I reached out to Mike to be the first guy to come on, he's like, hey, man, let's just do it together the whole way. And I'm like, hey, I'm good with that because, he's my brother from another mother.
That's it. You're my sister from another mister. Oh, wait, no,
right,
I got that wrong.
It's whatever you want to be. We're all inclusive here. But if you look at us up real close to each other, side by side, we do look somewhat familiar.
Yeah, we look alike, man. I just ate a few more cornbread and biscuits when I was growing up than you did, but that's all right.
Up north, you was eating them cornbreads?
Boy, let me tell you what, man. Listen, up north, you only really got like Cracker Barrel and stuff like that. You can get some good cornbread at, unless you go to Sam's Club, then you bring home that Maker's Mark cornbread, which is just as good. But now that I live south, man, it's like all those local places got that good cornbread, and it's kind of hard when you try to like do the diet lifestyle to pass up on some cornbread or some biscuits and gravy.
Brother, if cornbread is not in your diet, you ain't living right.
I tell you what, man. It's one of those things that you try so hard. You're like, oh yeah, I'll go get barbecue, but I won't eat the cornbread. The sauce got enough sugar. Yeah, you end up eating more cornbread than you do barbecue.
Let me tell you, this weekend. So we've had family in this weekend. My mother-in-law and my mother-in-law, as I call her, Miss Tracy, and my father-in-law, Terry Trammell. We got them here with us, and he loves to smoke meat. I love to smoke meat.
Now he's the one that did the sausage when you did the deer sausage.
Yeah, boy, yeah, he's the sausage guy. Yeah,
I need him as a connection.
I told him, man, like you really enjoyed his salty meats in your mouth.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
good.
it
You know,
was
the
good.
Famunda casing was perfect.
But yeah, man, we did so yesterday. Um, I took a pork belly and a pork loin, smoked it for 4 or 5 hours, I think, and then we cut that bad boy up, turned it into burn ends, and man,
Ooh,
that's meat candy, man. They should
ooh.
put wrappers on those like Tootsie Rolls so fat kids can put them in their pockets.
I'm telling you, man, I'll be filling my pockets up with those if they have wrappers on them. That's one thing. Burn ends are my favorite. That's the one thing I'll go to town on some burn ends, and that pork belly sounds amazing.
What made it real good was we stopped at a local fruit stand on the way back, and we picked up some peach habanero jam, and we mixed that in with the barbecue sauce. Whoo! Now, let me tell you something.
Mm,
As Kenny would say, that'll make your tongue slap your brain, baby.
that's it. Make a monkey hug a hound dog, right?
Oh yeah. Well, and then when you can't have no more, it'll bring a tear to that glass eye.
Yeah, that's the one bad thing when you find something that's really good. Like certain chicken wings, I fall in love with certain types of chicken wings, man. And then when you get down to the last one, you're like sad that the last one's gone. It's
Hey, I tell you
upsetting.
what, man, you want to talk about being from the Northeast, hers, right?
Oh
Hers
yeah,
potato chips.
hard potato chips, absolutely.
Yeah. I just picked up some Korean barbecue potato
They're
chips.
they're good. Have you tried their sweet potato ones?
I hadn't tried them yet.
Try their sweet potato ones, bro. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. And if you don't, if the flavor's not like on point for you, come home and add a little honey to it. Oh man, they are so good. And it's hard. Like certain places down here only carry certain things. So like hers, I can only get at like Wawa because they're a northeast based business, right? So
Yeah.
the closest Wawa is 15 minutes away, but I have one right by my job. So if there's something that I miss from up north, I'll just swing in there and see if they have it. But
The Wawa, man. That was something I was happy to get when we moved to Virginia.
yeah, Wawa
Wawa and Rofo. I like Rofo too.
was Rofo.
Rofo's got good fried chicken. I think Rofo is more like
Is that Royal Farms?
yeah, Royal Farms.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started getting them in Jersey right when I moved, probably like a year before I moved from up north.
Yeah, I mean they have, stuff in there like Scrapple.
Yeah.
I ain't never had Scrapple.
Yeah. I know they got they got some good fried chicken, man.
Oh yeah, they do. So how you feel about Scrapple?
Scrapple's one of my favorites. That's one of my, man, listen, I know it's tough. Like there's a lot of things out there that I really don't like to eat. And I'm a big dude. So there's not like much. You look at me and you'd be like, yeah, that guy eats everything. I really don't. Like there's a lot of things out there I won't eat. But the things that normal people won't eat, I'm all for. Like give me the scrapple, give me all the pork roll you could possibly manage to come up
Yeah.
with. And then people are like, well, what's in it? Everything that was left over. That's why it's called scrapple. Like
I
that's
tell
it.
you what,
Everything
man.
ground up with some salt and pepper and formed into a mold, man. But deep fried perfection. I'm telling you that.
I saw something at the local country meat market the other day called Dan Doodle.
Dan Doodle.
It's it's cow intestines or pig
Right.
intestines rather in a bag, and I guess you just boil it in that bag or something.
Really?
I was looking it up. It actually looked pretty appetizing.
Well, I
It
mean,
comes out similar to like the packing that's inside a boudin sausage.
right.
I'll throw down on some boudin now.
Oh, boudin's good. And there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
don't like boudin either. But that's like, you ever heard of haggis?
Yeah.
It's like the sheep intestine or the sheep stomach that's filled with all this stuff. It's big in the Amish community. And down here, like we have a real big Amish community, probably about an hour and a half south of me. And this is where they all come for vacation. Like they all come to a little place called Sarasota. And certain times of the year when you're there, you can find like certain things. So that's one thing that I never tried, but I wouldn't mind it because it looks appetizing. It looks delicious. It looks good. It smells good. You wouldn't think what it is actually what it is, but it's like scrapple. You can't knock it until you try it. And if it's fried perfect, you got yourself a good nice meat mush to go along with your fried eggs for breakfast.
It's like corned beef hash.
Yeah.
I could just open up we used to when, struggle meals when me and Chastity, when we didn't have much, you take a couple of pieces of white loaf bread, put it down on the plate, cook up some corned beef hash, and then just put it over the top of the white bread. Put a little ketchup on it if that's what you like, a little mustard, whatever.
Right.
Struggle meal, baby.
I'm telling you, man, I grew up in the city of Philadelphia. Like, that's where I was born and raised. And my parents did like the best they could. I'm one of 7, man. So, imagine 7 kids having to be fed 3 times a day, clothed all day long. My parents did a lot to make sure me and my siblings had everything we needed. But there was nights where, my mom ended up selling my dad's Nova one year for a Thanksgiving dinner. Sold his car just to be able to do Thanksgiving dinner. So I know what it's like to have struggle meals. But as I got older, those struggle meals like turned into snacks.
Yeah.
So like now Vienna sausages, I'll drain a can of Vienna sausages. I'll put a little ketchup and hot sauce in the can, shake it up, and I'll just eat them right out of the can.
Now you pronounce that incorrectly. You're living in Florida now.
Vienna.
No. It's veiny.
Veiny.
Those are veinies. Veiny.
I guess you could say it's veiny.
You got to drag that out. Veiny. It's a veiny sausage, baby.
The veiny sausage?
Veiny sausage. Veiny sausage.
I don't know if I would want to eat it if it was a veiny.
If it was a veiny. Yeah, man. The one that always brings me back is the fried bologna sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
You take 2 pieces of bologna, you fry them up, you put your piece of cheese down, and you got to make the slits.
It comes out of the plastic.
Yeah.
It can't be fresh, rich people sliced cheese. It's got to be the stuff in the plastic.
No, you want cheese product. You don't want cheese. You want cheese product.
There you go. Cheese product.
Yeah, and it's like, American cheese product. And then you take that, you make the little slits in the bologna so it don't blow up on you.
Yep, just like you would with the pork roll.
Yeah, and then you put that cheese down, and then you put another piece of bologna on top of it. That's money right there, buddy.
That's the poor man's hot pocket right there.
Yeah. Eat that all day. Put that on a cracker.
Yeah, right. That's money, dude.
That money, dude. That money right there. But yeah, man. I mean, and that's the thing, stuff that. I mean, hot dogs. Like sometimes I'm just like, man, I want a hot dog. And my granny, she had a way that she did it that was so special. I mean, she would pan fry them in a cast iron skillet with butter, and that's all she would do. Really? And sometimes I just want that butter hot dog, man.
You just want that clogged artery. That's what you want.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting there.
Yeah, I never had hot dogs like that. My favorite way of getting a hot dog is, man, like you walk into the 7-Eleven and you get the one that's been on there for like 8 hours. And it's all the way in the back. It's like the crispest burnt hot dog for some reason, man, that they always taste best.
Yeah, I like a good, like if you're cooking them over a fire, man, or even if you're grilling them, getting them good and crispy, getting some of that black char around the outside.
Yep, that's the best.
But the worst thing you can do is pierce the skin. Don't pierce the skin.
Oh yeah, because then you're going to get rid of all the juices. It's going to be like a dry hot dog at that point.
I do like to do a spiral dog. You know what a spiral dog is?
No, is that where you like cut it or you?
Yeah, so you take the hot dog and you go to the tip and you cut it and you spiral it all the way down, and then you put it on the grill and you wait until they bust up. So you don't cut them deep. You just barely score them a little bit,
right?
And then when they expand, you take and you put barbecue sauce over it, and you baste them with barbecue.
That's like making poor man's burn ends, bro.
Yeah.
You ever made poor man's burn ends?
Mm-hmm. With the hot dogs?
With the hot dogs, some barbecue sauce, boy. I tell you what, you feed that to somebody that don't know nothing about barbecue, they're gonna be happy.
Yeah. It don't take much to make a fat boy happy.
Oh no, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
You give me some ice cream, and we're gonna be best friends.
Well, now, what's the GOAT of ice cream brands for Mike?
So for me, with growing up north, man, it would have to be like Turkey Hill. Turkey Hill would be the one that I would like always go to. But since I moved down here, it's hard. Like if you go to Walmart, it's hard to find ice cream at Walmart. Now Publix has ice cream, but you're paying like $8 for a half gallon, right?
Yeah.
I'm not spending $8 on a half gallon of ice cream. But if you go to Walmart, you get Walmart brand. That's the closest I found to like Turkey Hill up north. And butter pecan is my absolute favorite. Like there's just something about that French vanilla with the pecans in it. It just makes it delicious.
Yeah, that Walmart brand that comes in the gallon crate, like just the vanilla in the big gallon crate.
Right.
It's got to have a yellow tint to it. It can't be, if it's white.
Yeah, it can't be white.
No, it's got to be able to tell it's got the cream in it.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's but for me growing up, it was always Mayfield.
Mayfield.
So Mayfield, but as I've gotten older, for me it's oh dadgummit, Bluebell
Okay.
homemade ice cream. That's where it's at. Just the
Yeah, Bluebell's
strawberry
good.
Bluebell.
Yeah, Bluebell's good. I get in the habit of every now and then of buying like those little Blue Bunny tracks, little container ones, but I get through it and I'm like, man, there's no way that was enough ice cream for me. I'm gonna have to eat another one, another one of these things.
Yeah, that's my problem. Even with Ben and Jerry's, I like you get that size carton and you start eating it, and then you get down and you're like, oh man,
It was
there's
just
like
tasting
this
good.
much left. I might as well
Yeah.
finish that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when it starts tasting good, is when you hit like the halfway point. That's when
Yeah.
you're like happy, the ice cream's flowing good, it's tasting great. And then next thing you know, it's gone.
See, I'm usually going and getting those quarts and pints and stuff when I'm traveling, and you got to eat it with a plastic spoon.
Right.
Yeah, that's a battle.
Yeah, you just gotta let it sit for a minute. And we know it's hard to do, especially when you're a big guy, man. You can't let it sit.
That's when you
But speaking
start holding it like this, like you're strangling it.
speaking of your travel, man, I see you posted the other day about your breakfast you had when you were in London, man. What did you think about the full English?
So a couple things. I did enjoy the full English breakfast, but the day before that, I saw thousands of naked men on bicycles.
What?
So the sausages kind of threw me a little bit.
The bangers? You were done with the bangers, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I ate them. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I ate them. But first glance, I had some PTSD flashbacks to the day before.
So what brought you to see thousands of men naked on bicycles?
We had no idea what we were getting ready to encounter. So we take the double-decker bus down to the underground. We come out, and first thing I see is Big Ben, and I'm like, oh man, I'm here. I'm in the UK. I'm looking at Big Ben, Big Benjamin, right in my face. So
now
then
we're talking about the clock tower, not some guy, right?
No, that was little Benjamin. I got to see him. But yeah, man, we walk across the street, and I saw a lot of cyclists, but we were surprised when none of them had clothing on. And I'm just going to say it. We're PG-13. Children, if you're a little older, and you don't know what we're talking about here, maybe go take an anatomy class. But circumcision is not very popular in the United Kingdom, apparently. Not that I was paying that close attention, but, and I'm going to use my words carefully here and not say hard, it was difficult not to look at them.
I mean, it's in your line of sight. It's bound to happen. You're bound to see some things you don't want to see. But
yeah, I mean, and it. Look,
I mean, you got to be thankful that they all rode around wearing hoods, at least, right?
There were several hoods, yes. So yeah, so that was stuck in my crawl, stuck in my brain. But no, I mean, more power to them. They were happy. They were doing what made them feel good. Different environment over there.
Oh yeah, dude, it's completely different. Like when I was over there in November, it was such a different change of pace than what you expect over here in the States, man.
I'm okay with nudity, but you got to give me a heads up.
Yeah, right. They should have put on the brochure.
Yeah. Hey, naked bike ride protest going on today. And the next thing that was really shocking was, the big circle, the eye, isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, the London Eye, the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, so a lot of people were getting photo ops, being butt naked, standing up on one of the piers on the Times in front of the eye, and they were doing a lot of swinging. If you catch my drift, a lot of swinging.
Man, yeah, I catch your drift.
Yeah, and we were getting ready to go on to one of those ship pubs that was right on the Thames, and
right.
Yeah, I had to clear my memory a little bit, just reset. I mean, to be honest with you, it's not a male, female. I don't want to see anybody that naked, that many of them.
I mean, especially when it's like something you're not expecting, right? So like if you go to the Caribbean, you go to like a nudist beach, you're expecting that.
Yeah.
But this is something that you weren't expecting. You were just expecting to go out and have a good time, do the double decker, see Big Ben, and you got smacked with a little rude awakening on your way
And
over there.
it's dudes that are my body type, you know. It's not like it's WWE professional wrestlers out there when peak
Right.
physical condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, David Beckham walking around. You're talking about Big Show out there.
It's not like when you're kids and you know, when you're a kid you're like, oh man, if I could just go to a nude beach. No, it's not what you pictured when you were 12 years old, and no, not even close.
Oh, well, sorry to bring it up, man, but I just wanted to know what you thought about the full English breakfast.
Now, hey, I loved it though. The beans were a surprising thing to me. Cold beans, I'll take
Oh,
them.
dude, it was.
Yeah.
I was surprised that the black pudding tasted as good as it did. Like I was expecting it to be something that wasn't good, and I wasn't going to like it, but it was delicious. I enjoyed it. But I went to the Regency, so I went like local into town, into London, to where like all the locals go for breakfast, because that's like one big thing with me, right? Like I want to go where the locals go. I don't want to always hit up the tourist trap areas and pay more than what you should for something. I'd rather go where the tourists go and get something authentic.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that threw me a lot when I was over there was like 6 o'clock. I'm ready to eat dinner.
Yeah.
No one's serving dinner at 6 o'clock. Like everyone's just at the pubs drinking, because that's what they do over there. Like they get done work, they go to the pub, they have a few pints, and then they have dinner around 8 o'clock. And I'm like, oh yeah, 8 o'clock is like midnight snack time for me.
It's a different world. I mean, they are very similar to us, but very different from us at the same time. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
I mean, I got along well with all of them, you know, took up with them, you know, but yeah, they live their life very different. You know, and if you saw my short today, the lack of air conditioning over there, that was a killer for a big boy.
I'm just glad I was there in November.
So my next trip is November. So I'm headed to Edinburgh.
Nice.
Pretty excited. Hoping to get to Tour Lagavulin.
Nice. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. And you're going with work, right? Like this is personal trip? Right.
Yeah, so, I'll be going with work, but
I mean, it's even better when all expenses are paid, right? Like you get to just get your time and go out there and just enjoy for a little bit.
Somewhat. I mean, it was tough on this last one, just because we had so many meetings to attend.
Right.
It was relentless. And you don't realize where they're at on the lines of latitude with relation to, you know, they're kind of close to right there where Alaska's at, more or less. Not quite that far north, but anyway, what I'm getting at is the days are a little longer than you expect.
Right.
So that's a little difficult when you're trying to reset. But had a great time, man. I'm excited to go back.
I know it's difficult to reset, dude. When I landed there in London, I took the train into the city from Heathrow. So I took the underground into the city. I got lost. I refused to ask somebody for help. I was using City Mapper on my phone. I figured it out. I knew what train to connect on. I got on the train. I get to my hotel, and it was like, I want to say like 10 o'clock in the morning at that time. My flight landed. It was like 6:30. Got through customs and all that. And the lady was so nice. She was like, your room's not ready, but we have like a conference table upstairs. If you want to sit there for about a half hour, your room will be ready in the next half hour. Hour and a half goes by. I finally wake up. I was passed out at this conference room table. I had my wallet on the table, my passport on the table, my money envelope, all these people just walking by. Nobody bothered me.
Yeah.
A little hour and a half nap right there in the middle of the hotel lobby. That was
me, crazy. Man. I was happy that they had my room ready. I stayed at the Marriott on Bath Road, which is like right outside of London Heathrow, which was super nice. And for that first night, luckily they had air conditioning because they're catering to the tourists.
Nice.
That ill prepared me for what I was getting ready to
you're like, they got AC here, I'm good.
Yeah, no. But so, you know, the guy I was traveling with, he said, look, man, I'm a little bit late because we were gonna go hit a pub for lunch, and then meet our boss and go eat dinner that night. And he's like, I'm running a little late. I'm about 2 hours behind you. So I went to my room, and he had told me, he said, just stay awake for the first day. Like, don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep until it's bedtime in the UK.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Like that's the hardest part.
But as soon as my head hit the pillow, 9 o'clock in the morning UK time, which was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning here or something like that, gone. Like I didn't even. It's one of those like when your head hits the pillow,
you're already asleep. You were.
You don't even know that you go to sleep.
Hit the pillow. Like and it happens so quickly because like that's what a lot of people say. Like when you do that type of traveling, that extensive of a flight, you stay up until it's time to go to bed over there, wherever you're landing at, right?
Yeah.
But it's so hard when you figure it out. Like my travel day was long. I flew from Tampa to Miami and then Miami into London, but I spent all day at the Miami airport. So I was up and out and on my first flight by 7 a.m. Well, by the time I landed, it was 6 o'clock in the morning in the UK. So I literally went and I was like, I'm struggling so hard. And I didn't plan on falling asleep. I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
Once I woke up from that little hour and a half nap, I was good to go the rest of the day. But yeah, if you can push off falling asleep, man, that's probably what's going to be best for yourself for the rest of the trip. Because trying to catch up with that jet lag is not possible.
So I was thinking about this the other day. So switching gears a little bit from the UK discussion that we're having, our origin story. I can't remember how I got to know you, if you were coming into our chats, or what I specifically remember is asking you to go live with us from the celebration.
So I was coming into your videos and I don't remember how it was that I caught wind of y'all or your channel or whatever, but I was coming into your channel and then I joined the Facebook group. And I said to you, I believe it was Coach Cruz. I believe Coach Cruz said something about me being on there or whatever. And I sent you a message. I was like, hey, Josh, can I post pictures in the group of the celebration in port? And you were like, well, usually I ask for that to go here, but since it's such a hot topic, go ahead and post it. And then you came back and you were like, yo, you want to go live with me this week? And then you brought Greg on and you brought Kurt on. So I met all four of you. Well, all three of you.
I apologize.
At that one time. I mean, it's all right. I'm not hateful that Kurt was involved. I love Kurt. Let me stop talking. Kurt's my buddy, man. He's my best. He's one of my besties, that's for sure. But and then that's where it all started. That's pretty much how it all started. I was on the celebration. I did that little walk around live with y'all on there, and at that point in time, I was still at 600 subscribers, man. I was just low man on the totem pole at that point,
Yeah, but I mean, you can tell when certain people start channels if they're going to be successful or not. I mean, there are certain things, right? You got to have the voice, something that makes you stand apart.
That's it.
I mean, we got the sexiest beards on YouTube. Come on now. And
that's a big manly beard right there. That's a bushy beard, bro.
But you get it, like, I mean, you get what the people want to know, what they want to hear, what they want to see. Because you took time and studied the travel game before you jumped into doing the YouTube channel. And much like us, we were big Disney folks, and we haven't been cruising that long. But when we go into something, we fall hard for it. And cruising, we fell hard. So we became, hardcore cruising fans right away. And the Disney fan culture is very similar to the cruising fan culture with its following. Cruising's just a little bit behind in the fanaticism as far as like having followings for YouTube creators. But we'd watch Paging Mr. Morrow and Molly on All Ears, and of course she has Mammoth Club now. Who else would we watch? We watched Super Enthused Jackie.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing, like with me, man, like Disney's a big part of me. Like, I don't know if you know this or not, but like all my tats from here up across my chest and across my back on the same side, that's all 100% Disney. Like the whole sleeve, everything's 100% Disney.
Yeah.
And when we moved to Florida, it was great because you can get the Florida resident pass. But since the pandemic, bro, they shot up like 40% more than what they were when I first moved here. And I'm like, I live too far away to not be able to make it there at least 2-3 days a week.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of that's because of not Iger, but the guy before Iger, right?
Yeah.
hopefully he'll kind of cap everything for a little while and let inflation catch up with the prices of tickets.
Yeah, that would be nice because I'm telling you, man,
Yeah.
it's for a family of 4, you're looking at like $6-7 grand a year. You know,
I mean, we used to go twice a year. You know, we would hit it. We would hit it in the, you know, as everything was cooling down, not cooling down, but like the crowds. So when kids would kind of start filtering back into school and it was too hot, we would go brave the heat and just go hit it. And then we would try to go down there for Christmas time. And I mean, so much so that we purchased timeshares because we thought, you know what, it makes sense for us because we're down here so often anyway. We're going to use this at least 2 weeks out of each year, and then the prices shot up. So,
so now you still have the timeshares?
Yeah, we've got we own out at Bonnets Creek.
Okay.
So you know it's perfect because the buses come and pick up and everything, but we haven't even used it yet. We've just been cruising, so. We're going to use it when we're at the booze cruise. So, you know, we're staying at one of our timeshare things for the booze cruise.
Nice.
Man, the booze cruise is blown up, man.
I'm telling you, that's gonna be a nice little cruise, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be
good. I'm staying right there across from Julia Street Terminal, like right across the street from the terminal. I wasn't staying anywhere near the French Quarter. I wasn't staying in Tremé like I did last time. I'd rather just stay somewhere that's right across the street from the terminal. I can get up in the morning, get my bag, walk out the door, boop, walk right across the street, and just get on the ship and just have a good time. Because I mean, there's gonna be so many people that are gonna be getting on that ship. I think the last time I checked, the group had like 200 people on the page.
It's nuts, man.
Now, whether or not everybody's cruising, that's a different story.
Yeah, we're staying at the Avenue Plaza. It's on St. Charles Avenue.
Let me see.
It's a Wyndham resort. But yeah, I mean, you know, it was an idea that, you know, Greg and me, Antoinette. I mean, it really kind of hatched itself on a live stream, and it was like, you know, why don't we just make it a group cruise? And man, it's turned into one of these mega group cruises.
Yeah, I mean, when I signed up for it, I don't think there was that many people booked on it. Yeah. There really wasn't. I think when Greg made the new like sign, there was only like 6 of us that were creators that were on there. Now, the last time I checked the group, it had over 200 people in it. So
you brought them in, man.
There's a decent amount, but
I'm coming to see you.
Yeah, they're not coming to see me. Don't lie to the people. I'm staying at the Spring Hill Suites New Orleans Warehouse Arts District. So it's literally right down the street from the World War II Museum and right across from the Port of New Orleans. So
now I haven't been yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about the World War II Museum. I got to go check that place out.
I wanted to go when I was there for the Vloggers Extravaganza, and I never did. I was too stuck on so my big thing, right? Like, I want to show people how you can travel frugally, like save the most money when you're somewhere. But New Orleans was a new city for me. So I'm into the Cajun Creole food, and I wanted to just eat at as many places as I possibly could. Yeah. I wanted to find the best shrimp po' boy. So I did research. I went and got the shrimp po' boy. I went and got some shrimp. I was eating everywhere. I tried 2 different beignet places, Cafe Du Monde, Cafe Beignet. And I'm telling you right now, for anybody that's going to New Orleans, don't go to Cafe Du Monde. Save your money and go over to Cafe Beignet, because Cafe Beignet, even their chicory coffee was better. Now, I get Cafe Du Monde may have started it, and I may get a lot of hate from the people in New Orleans that are like, oh, da, da, da. But I've talked to so many local people, and they say Cafe Beignet is way better than Du Monde. And I'm telling you, the beignets were fluffier, they were warmer, they were more powdered sugar, and it just was hands down a better experience at Cafe Beignet. So come October, I'm not going to Du Monde. If you want a beignet, Josh, you need to come with me over to Cafe Beignet.
Yeah, we really didn't. When we went down, I mean, we did we went to Tropical Isle. Let's see. We went to, what's the other big bar down there where you get the hurricanes?
The Carousel Bar?
No, this is more touristy, even more touristy. Shoot.
Is it on Bourbon Street?
Yeah.
I didn't do. I think I know what you're talking about. They have like when you order the Hurricane, it comes out in like this grenade.
So that's Tropical Isle. Oh,
I went to the other place. Big. What's the other place? Big. Fat Tuesdays.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That came up in the chat. I don't know.
Pat O'Brien's.
Pat O'Brien's. Okay.
Yep. And then I'm pretty sure the name of the place was Tropical Isle that we went to, where you have they've got the big grenade.
Right.
Yeah. And that place was good. I mean, if you just want to go get lit, like that place is good. It's got a cool vibe. Yeah, but
all of Bourbon Street's got a cool vibe, man. Like if you're into that like party atmosphere, but I mean, even then, if you're not into the party atmosphere, you can still have a good time on Bourbon Street, right? So,
yeah.
if you're into like that witchcraft, wizardry, voodoo stuff, you're gonna have a great time in New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff, and like if you like smelling armpits and urine.
I tell you what, that's the one problem. But when we went in January, it was not that bad. Now, the smell of urine got to you in certain places along Bourbon Street, right? But we're talking January. We're talking, before Mardi Gras happened. Now, if it would have been 2 weeks later after Mardi Gras or during Mardi Gras, yeah, I would 100% say it would have probably been horrible. Or even in the summertime, it's probably horrible with it being that hot. But I think when we're there in October, I don't think it'll be too bad.
Yeah. We went, so my father-in-law recommended, because he was down there working during one of the hurricanes. And he was working not on Bourbon Street, but close to Bourbon Street. Anyway, he recommended going to the Creole House. So the Creole House, we ended up getting like the taste of New Orleans, which had like your jambalaya, your etouffee, and all that stuff. And you could get 4 different things to choose from. But he said the best thing there is the Canal Street redfish. So if you like Oyster Rockefeller, they do a redfish and they kind of Rockefeller it up, if that makes sense.
Oh, really?
And then they put the remoulade and all that good stuff on there.
Right. Now, I don't do oysters, man. I love seafood, but oysters are one thing I won't do. And it's
well,
not that
this is not
a try them.
Yeah. So this doesn't have oysters. This is just like they do
a nice fillet of redfish.
So like a redfish, they do this. Style. Yeah. If you know what an oyster Rockefeller is, they do that same topping, but they put it on the redfish with some remoulade.
Nice.
So, yeah, it looked good.
I don't have much time. I think I land at like 10 in the morning, and then we get on the ship the next day. So I'm only coming in one day prior, but yeah, you got to definitely hit up some food. The one thing I was looking forward to the most when I got there was Willie Mae's Scotch House, man. But they caught fire back in April, so as of right now, they're currently closed down, remodeling. So I'm hoping they'll be up and running again by October. But you want to talk about some good fried chicken, man? Ooh.
I think a few of the folks like Have Luggage Will Travel. I think Josh and Amanda are going to try to come down.
Nice.
I'd heard that the Gilberts may be trying to come down because there's such a big group showing up.
Right.
So, yeah, it'd be pretty cool to meet those guys. And, I'd like to have somebody from Louisiana say, that goes down around the New Orleans area and be like,
yeah,
go there. Don't go
this
here.
Is where you want to eat.
Go try this. Don't try that. Yeah. Because I want that real taste of New Orleans,
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, dude, like that's what I did. Like I did so much research for months prior to going there. And everywhere I looked was like, don't go here. Yes, they may have the same thing, but this is more authentic. This is better. The quality's better. And that's what I did. And I did not have a bad meal at all. One of the best things I had was the boudin balls.
Oh.
It's literally the boudin outside the casing, rolled into a ball, breaded in cornmeal and deep fried. Oh my God, that thing was so good, bro. Like I'm salivating thinking about those boudin balls. Like they were that good.
Boudin is fantastic, man. Yeah, so I have a friend of mine that grew up on Lake Pontchartrain, and he swears up and down that if you want authentic New Orleans and authentic Louisiana cuisine, you've got to go get something from Lake Pontchartrain, from that Lake Pontchartrain area. And Lake Pontchartrain is kind of cool because I don't know if you know, but like it's half saltwater, half fresh.
Half fresh water, yeah.
Yeah. and it's like it's such a large lake that you get up to a certain line of debarkation that's like a little bit brackish, and then it just becomes fresh. But
Right.
sounds like some water that I don't want to be in, because it sounds like there might be a lot of things that could eat you in that water. But
A lot of people don't know that, man, and that's crazy.
yeah,
Like, like sharks, bull sharks are one
ugh,
big thing that can survive in
yeah,
brackish style water like that. So
the man in the gray suit, he'll come get you, man.
that's it, bro. Man, the ooze man from the lake and all that stuff. Like a Scooby Doo cartoon, bro. You just see this green thing glowing out of the water.
Yeah, I don't fool around with sharks. I don't fool around with alligators. I
Well,
don't
man,
fool
listen.
around with snakes.
Let me tell you something. Being here in Florida, living in Florida, I can't tell you how many times I've seen alligators on one hand. Like now, we're the most overpopulated state in the U.S. that has alligators, but where I live, very far and few in between. You see
Yeah,
them on some golf courses when you're driving by or whatever, but you don't see them in the streets or in the city. Now, when you get towards like Lake Okeechobee and stuff like that, yeah, you might start getting them a little bit heavier, but you're literally over by Alligator Alley at that point. Like
yeah.
I-75 is called Alligator Alley for a reason. But I haven't ran into any big snakes. I'd rather not. And like I tell my kids when we're out hiking or something, I don't have to outrun the alligator. I just got to outrun you.
Did you see? Yeah, and you know what? If you see a guy like me or you running, you better take off running too, because
That's it, because we're running from something.
yeah, man, we ain't just running for our health. There's something behind us.
That's it.
Hey, but did you see the big snake that was caught down in your state like last week?
So we got big pythons down here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
19 feet.
Yeah. That's probably not even the record either, dude. They probably caught something way bigger than that. The
Man, that's like
Everglades are overran right now with the pythons. It's absolutely insane.
that's crazy. Yeah, and they have like, for every female you kill down there, if there's another one that you don't kill, it's like they have 50 babies. I mean, it's
Right.
crazy.
But that's
And
like in Louisiana, they have this thing called the Nutri Rat.
yeah,
So if you kill the Nutri Rat and you cut the tail and you bring the tail in, they pay you for the tail.
yeah,
Well, so like in here in Florida, we have certain laws in place. Like if you're a freshwater fisherman and you catch the invasive snakehead, you're you're legally have to kill that snakehead. You're not allowed to put it back in the water. If you
yeah,
get caught putting it back, you're getting a fine because it's such an invasive species. It's overrunning the creeks, the rivers, the lakes, and it's killing the natural fish to the state of Florida. So that's why we have such an invasive, bunch of crap going on with the pythons, because somebody thought one day, hey, let me have this as my pet snake. And then it got to be 6 foot and then they set it free. And somebody else did the same thing and they met up. And next thing you know, we got nothing but snakes, alligators, and mosquitoes the size of jet planes everywhere.
So I was watching a video. I can't remember if it was today or yesterday, but it was talking about all the different natural springs and stuff in Central Florida, and one of them, I think it was called Silver Spring, but it said that they're now wild monkeys, but once upon a time it was pet monkeys that people had let loose. But like when you're out in that park,
Yeah,
you
it's crazy, dude. Like I'm telling you, you're gonna find some stuff down here. Like when you see like Florida man, like that is real. Like when the news says Florida man, yeah, that is absolutely real. Like we live that every day. The one thing though is like the springs. The springs are great. Like I don't live that far from springs over here. We live probably about 10 minutes away from a place called Weeki Wachee. So if
yeah,
you're like big into the mermaids, we have like this mermaid festival that happens over there, and the manatees come up swimming right over here. You can literally swim in the creek with the manatees or kayak through, and the manatees are there. Like we live on the nature coast for a reason, right? Everybody wants to go to the nature coast. I wanted to move to the East Coast. I wanted to live where I can get a boat and run out 100 miles and be in 150 feet of water and drop down for some big fish. But I'm on the Gulf side, and it's nice over here. I like it. It's very busy this time of year because we get our snowbirds in. So the traffic is absolutely insane everywhere you go. But come like October, that'll start dying down a little bit. But it's nice over where we live.
Weeki Wachee's amazing. I may have said that wrong, but
Yeah, Weeki Watch is awesome. And when
yeah,
Kurt and Marcia came down before they went on a cruise not that long ago, I took them to a little restaurant on the water. It's called Bayonet Point. And if they weren't from the holler, they probably would have thought like I was taking them out in the sticks to like get rid of them or something. But They were just like along for the ride. Yep, man. There's no street lights. There's no nothing. They felt right at home, but
Yeah.
right on the water, man. Great food, great atmosphere, and it's the one thing I love about Florida. There's always something you can do, and that's why I love moved here because I loved cruising so much. So my furthest cruise port is 5 hours away. My closest cruise port is 40 minutes away.
Yeah, and the panhandle is amazing too, you know. So both of our kids are in the panhandle right now. We have one that's out at NAS Pensacola, and you know, we were out there with him not too long ago, and we went out to the seawall, did a little bit of fishing, and the amount of sea life that's just teeming right there on that seawall on the Pensacola Bay, it blew me away. I mean, you look down and the water's so clear, and then what you're looking at is like an aquarium. I mean, it's just balls of bait fish and barracudas and tarpon and all, just chasing them all up through there. And it's just amazing. And then our oldest is living at Tyndall Air Force Base now, which is pretty much Panama City. And man,
That's right down the street from the Hammer, man. He lives right there.
Yeah.
Scott McNeil, the Hammer. He lives right there.
Yeah, I'll be down there next week. So yeah, I'll be all over the Panhandle next week. So
nice.
Flying into Panama City. Got to spend some time up at Eglin Air Force Base, and then we'll spend some time out at Tyndall. So
nice.
Yeah,
Scotty lives right up there, man. He's a good dude. He loves it out there. He likes it on the Emerald Coast.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. We went out to, what was the name of the state park that we went to? Not Blue Mountain. Man, I can't remember. It was beautiful though. Anyway, long story short, don't want to drag that out, but I mean, you can't find a beach on the Emerald Coast that is not beautiful. It's just impossible.
Well, that's like same with over here, like on the Gulf Coast side, right? Like it's gonna be hard for you to find a beach that you're not gonna fall in love with.
Yeah.
Nice white sandy beaches, nice clear water. I mean, Clearwater Beach was voted the best beach in the U.S. for so many years, you know, but it's now become so overpopulated with tourists that locals don't even go there.
The Tampa area is amazing, man. That whole, I mean, I love the vibe there. You know, and if I make another jump in my career, I may end up down there at some point. Man, St. Andrews, that was it, Scott. Yeah, St. Andrews State Park. That place is beautiful.
I mean, Tampa, you got McDill. McDill's right there.
Yep. Yeah, so that's where I would be working if I ever make it down that way. So, you know, we will wreak havoc upon Central Florida.
I'm telling you, bro, I love it down here. There's times where I'll question, like, man, should I move back up north? And I'm like, nah, I live in God's paradise. Like, I am not going back up north, man. Nope.
A lot's going to depend on what happens with our kids. You know, right now we're in a pretty good spot because we're not terribly far from, you know, Chastity's parents, and
right.
You know, we can get down to Florida fairly easy. But you know, with one being in the Marine Corps, he's either going to wind up somewhere on the East Coast or somewhere on the West Coast. There really ain't anywhere in between. And then Dylan, he really doesn't know what he's going to do for his future. He don't know if he's going to get on out of the Air Force or stay in. So we definitely want to be close to our grandkids. So.
Right. And you guys are empty nesters now, right? It's just you and Chastity?
Yeah. I mean, we love it and we hate it at the same time. I mean, we still have our dogs, you know, but yeah, I mean, we're on the backside, man. So, you know, how close are you to becoming an empty nester?
I got 13 years, man. not close enough. Not close enough. I mean, look, I love my kids. I love having my kids around. I don't think I'd ever want to not be around my kids, but I know there's going to come a point in my life where I want to retire and just be and live in the islands or live somewhere. And hopefully that comes before I have grandkids, so that connection's not super, super strong, because everyone tells me the bond you have with your grandkids is way different and stronger than the bond you have with your kids.
I would give everything up in a heartbeat to just like live right there with them, you know? But the thing is, like, I also don't know what's going to happen with my youngest, because he's 19.
Right.
And he has a girl that he's, you know, semi-serious with, trending towards serious. She's a great girl. She's a sweetheart. So, you know, whenever that kicks off and they start doing the grown-up thing, it's like, who knows, because yeah, the grandkids, I mean, like, we're already, it's like, when is Landon going to be old enough where we could take him on his first Disney cruise?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't spend, and I know there's people that disagree with me, but I would not spend that kind of money for me and Chastity to go on a Disney cruise. But I will take my grandson.
It's different because you're not just getting to go on the cruise, you're getting to go on the cruise and see it through his eyes. Like that was my big thing. Like when we moved to Florida, like, do I get these passes or do I not get these passes? Well, I'm a Disney freak. My kids are Disney freaks, but it was worth it because I got to see the excitement it brought my children when they got to go to Disney. So the cost was absolutely worth it. I've been wanting to do a Disney cruise for years. I will not put out that amount of money, but now my little one, he's like, Dad, can we go on a Disney cruise? Can we go on a Disney cruise? Can we go on a Disney cruise? The other two, they just want to go on a cruise. They don't care what cruise line, what cruise ship, where it goes, whatever. But the little one, he's wanting to go on a Disney trip. So, I try to do things a little different over the last year and a half. I took them all individually on their own cruise so that way I could spend quality time with each kid.
So on the booze cruise, are we going to get introduced to any of the Gormley family members?
Yeah, you're going to get introduced to Scott McNeil. He's my adopted son. He's 53 years old as of August 14th. No, you're not going to meet anybody blood in October. It's tough, man. It's hard. Like when you got kids, especially here, like in Florida. So we go back to school August.
Yeah.
So come October, they're getting ready to go into the second marking period. So it's a little tough.
Yeah.
It's a little hard, but I mean, listen, they all support me. They all enjoy watching Dad make content. My little one's the first one that'll pop it up on the TV, and he'll come out and tell me he just came out like 10 minutes ago trying to hop onto the camera. So
I tell you, it's awesome, man. So our little niece Raylan, she's on. Kids are on YouTube now. Like as soon as they know how to operate it, these kids are getting on YouTube. Like Miss Rachel is some of the younger kids' favorites. And her and Blippy, they all got started YouTube, especially during the pandemic. So, Raylan, she's old enough now to kind of realize what's going on. So, her poppy sends me a picture the other day, her mammy and her poppy. And she had one of the Moonlight Adventure. She's like, so she put this sticker on the back of her phone, just like I have it on mine, and, she's like, what are you watching, Raylan? Moonlight Adventures, Sis and Josh.
There you go.
And yeah, I mean, that's cool. That makes you, it's like days when you're like, this seems more like work than fun right now. I think I'm going to stop for a little bit. And then you see something like that from your family members.
Right. And that's really the thing, man. Like as long as you have that one person that's always going to be behind you, regardless, there's always a reason to keep going and making videos. Right.
Yeah.
So my kids ask me all the time, you got another video coming out? You making another video? You doing this? You doing that? There's days, Josh, where I'm like, you know what? I just have to get away from YouTube for the day. I just have to stop. I have to stop worrying about a video. I have to stop worrying about a thumbnail and just go away. Because I know if I get too frustrated, then I'm going to not want to do it anymore. Yeah. And I enjoy doing what I'm doing. Like I love making videos. Even if I only have one person that watches, I did my job. I got somebody to watch my video, right? Like it doesn't matter if it's one person or 1 million people. As long as I got one person that watches, I did my job.
Yeah, and one of the things I've found too, and there's a lot of politics and hurt feelings and in this YouTube creator game, right? Oh, this one wasn't on my live stream, and they never watch and they don't make comments on my videos. Like, dude, we all have lives, and
it's tough. There's a lot of people that don't understand that, man. They see you in somebody else's and they're like, oh, well, you're in theirs. Listen, I have free time in that time of the day. I'm sorry I can't be everywhere and do everything. I try to do the best I can, man. And some people get upset and some people understand it. I just wish more people would understand that this is something I do. I started as a hobby. I'm trying to make this more than just a hobby. But I also have a job. I also have 3 kids. I also have 2 dogs. I also have a house that has to be taken care of. There's a lot that goes on into one person's day. And you know that saying, right? You never judge a book by its cover or until you walk a mile in my shoes. I'm not telling anybody to walk a mile in my shoes or judge me by the cover. just understand that everyone's human and it takes time to get things done and get around the things. And some people just don't understand it, man. And it's not that they want a pity party. I just think they're not in the right mentality to be out here in a creator platform, right? Like if you don't have that mentality, this space isn't for everybody. This is a hard space to be in. And if it's not your thing, then you just have to realize that and just move on with life. Like if you're not putting out stuff that people are watching, you keep trying, you keep going. I'm not telling you not to do it. If it's something you enjoy doing, then do it. Keep doing it. Keep doing what makes you happy, right? You only do what makes you happy. So keep going forward and doing what makes you happy. But if you're getting to that point where it's not making you happy anymore and you're just doing it and you're being a Debbie Downer, you know, you got to eventually just come to a point in a fork in the road and figure out if you're going to go left and change your mindset or go right and just be done with it.
But if you're thinking that, you know, the Moonlight Adventures being in your chat or the Naughty Cruiser being in your chat is the make or break for your channel, again, you know, that's the wrong mindset.
Yeah,
you know,
your mindset and priorities are in the wrong spot.
And you know, I come from racing, you know, and like when you're racing, looking behind is always the wrong thing to do. You want to be looking forward, and until you can get to a point where you can pass someone, you have to draft them and you have to mark their positions, right?
Right.
So like for me, you know, my mindset has been with this thing, so it's fun, but I'm also competitive and I want to be successful, you know. And if I don't have that goal to strive for, then what am I doing it? Why am I taking an hour out of my time on a weekday to do this? You know, so I started looking at folks that are successful on the platform, not just successful in the community that we're a part of. And you know, Mr. Beast is bigger than both of us by many times over.
Oh,
you know,
for sure.
orders of magnitude that we'll probably never reach. But if we're not thinking like that, we're always going to have a small community.
That's
and you think that Mr. Beast, or even within our community, Tony from Lolita Loca or Emma Cruz's, you think that they're looking in their chat worried about who's there and who isn't?
No, not at all. And that's the same thing with me. Like I go live every Thursday at 10 o'clock. I know that's an inconvenient time for a lot of people, but that's a time that I can make work for me.
Yeah.
That's a time that I can devote every week to anybody. I'm not worried about who's there or who's not there. If you can make it, great. If you're not, I understand. But I'm not going to, you know, get mad and butthurt that somebody's not there. Like, I mean, like, that's like me saying, like, I live right around the corner from Tony and he knows I go live every week. Why doesn't he pop over at my house and go live with me? It doesn't work that way, right? Like, it's life. Like, life gets in the way. Things happen. And the mentality is like the big key and factor with everything that happens in life. Wanting a job, you got to manifest the job you want to get, or you're not going to get it. You want to make more money, you got to manifest you want to make more money, or you're not going to make more money.
That's right.
I mean, everything starts with the right mindset. If your mindset's not there, it's not going to work.
Yeah, and you know, and that's a good way to look at it. And it doesn't. I think it goes without saying that we appreciate every single person that pops into our live stream and takes part in the chat. And you know, we love our Moonlight Mafia members. You love your naughty folks, you know. And,
absolutely.
You know,
I wouldn't be anywhere I'm at without any of the support from all of the subscribers. But you figure it out. You go live, right? You have, say you got 2,000 subscribers. You go live for an hour, but you only have 10 subscribers that pop in. Well, 1,990 of them had other plans. I'm not going to knock them for being there. It's just, it's part of it. But I'm not going to be upset that they're not there.
But, you know, if I want more people to be in my chat, I better do something where they're like, I can't miss it. I got to be there.
Yeah, and that starts with mindset. So, I mean, listen, I'm my world's biggest critic, right? Like, there's nobody out there in the world that can judge me more than myself. It's just not possible. There's no way. Every human's built the same way. So if you want to drive more people to your channel, you have to figure out how to create better content, put out more content, be more, you know, organized, precise, on time, upload more, do more. It's just things that you need to figure out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not in this business to buy subscribers. That's my subscriber count is not one thing I worry about. I worry about my views. I worry about my watch hours. I worry about people enjoying my content. I worry about how I can put out frugal content, because not for nothing, I don't know who needs to hear this or not, but not everyone in this world is rich. Not everybody can afford to fly first class. Not everybody can afford to stay at the Ritz-Carlton. So yeah, if I'm flying economy class on one of the cheapest airlines to London and I got there for $350, I'm pretty sure there's more people in the world that need to see that than flying first class to London for $10,000.
For sure.
And I'd rather bring that economy-based lifestyle to my people, to my videos, to it all. Because there's more people out there like me. There's more people out there like you. I'm not, mindset's everything, man. And it's tough. I can buy first class, but why would I buy first class when my subscribers and all are not going to fly first class? They want to know a review on economy. And that's what I'm going to give on economy.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and it's like me and Chastity when we started this thing, it's like we really took a lot of inspiration from SCT. So, Greg kind of pushed us. I don't want to say he pushed us into it. He was definitely our inspiration. And we watched them and we're like, there's a husband and wife, Greg being middle-aged, Marsha being in her in her 20s.
Oh, Greg is
not Marsha. I'm sorry,
Marsha.
Greg and
on this episode,
Greg and Felicia.
Greg and Marsha are now married.
I do that all the time. Chastity's like, you got to stop. Yeah, but I mean, that's our, those are our people. They just kind of merge in, right? But for sure, watching them, and it's like, dude, that's what we want to portray, is that you can go have fun. You can go do your thing. You don't have to spend a ton of money. And, like, especially for folks growing up in the South, at least where I was raised, when you're thinking about cruising, it's like, man, folks like me don't cruise. You don't get on cruise ships. I don't care if Carnival's the party ship or not. You don't talk like me and go into an MDR and have that kind of service, right?
Right.
But you see folks like Kurt and Marsha. You see folks like Greg, Felicia. Even Tony and his wife, man. Like, they're real people, and that's what people gravitate to on YouTube anyway. Is authentic, real folks doing real things, not sugarcoating things, just speaking from the heart.
That's it.
Let me tell you, like, guys, Pig and Anchor Barbecue, hot trash on a plate. I don't care if you hate me for saying it or not. I'll say it 100 times. It sucks.
Let me tell you, bro. I'm right there with you. That Mississippi mud pie, like what were they thinking when they came up with that? It's literally like a chocolate bar on some crust. It's so thick. It's not like a pie at all. I'm right there with you. And there's things like every cruise line has those things, right? Like you can point it out. I'm not a bakery. If you want something sweet, you need to go to Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme's, Tasty Cake. I tell it how it is. If I don't like something, I don't like it. I'm not going to be worried about other people being upset that I don't like it. And you get into the comments, right? Like, oh my God, how could you say that was cold? Because it was cold.
It sucked.
I'm not going to tell you it was hot and it was delicious when it was cold and horrible. That's just the way it is.
Hey, like, you know what? I may not like your brand of food, but at least make sure it's done. When I bite into your beans and they're still hard, like they came out of the bag and they wasn't cooked long enough, no, man, that's hot trash.
Those Navy beans, man, they always seem to come out hard. And every time I go there, I give them a shot, like every time, right? Like I did it on the Mardi Gras, I did it on the celebration. I give them a shot every time. The only thing that I can seem to get that's edible is that sandwich, the sloppiest sandwich you could possibly get. And I can manage that. But any form of Navy bean, kidney bean, always seem undercooked. Seem undercooked.
Hey, I'm an MSC guy. I'm in love with MSC now. But hot take, the steakhouse is hot trash on MSC for me. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, dude. I went to Butcher's Cut and I was so mad. Josh, I sat there for 45 minutes before I got my drink. And I'm hands down one that preaches MSC, right? Like going MSC, it's frugal friendly, it's great, but be prepared for some things like, some European style things you're not getting here in the States, you're not used to. But when I went to Butcher's Cut, I sat there for 45 minutes to get my steak. Now, I'm a rare guy. I like my steak cooked rare, medium rare, I'll allow it. But when my steak came out on my plate, Josh, it looks like they literally took a blowtorch and just went on each side. That thing was it was raw. It was tartar. It was not even rare. It was raw.
Hey, but
Man.
Sushi, teppanyaki, on point.
Yeah. The sushi was great.
The taco, Ola taco, my gosh. That's the best Mexican food I've ever had anywhere.
Ola taco is really good, especially if you pay that $17 and you do that like all you can eat. That's well worth it.
You can't beat that, man. Best tamale I ever had in my life.
The octopus sushi was my favorite. That was awesome. The salmon cone roll, I can't do that, bro. I'm not a salmon guy. I tried it and I got some footage. I'll share it with you one of these days. I literally picked it up and I bit it, and my mind and my body said nope, and it just instantly came out my mouth. It was like, nope, that's not going to happen. And I'm just not a raw salmon guy. I'm just not a salmon guy, period.
So did you eat at the Ocean K restaurant on board the ship?
I did eat at Ocean K. Ocean K was good. Yeah, I was on the Meraviglia when I went there. I felt like the restaurant was a little on the small side. I think they could have, and that's the one thing, right? Like the way they have that ship set up, like all your specialty restaurants are right there. Like, I don't know. Did you go on the Meraviglia or were you on a different ship?
We were on the Meraviglia. We hit the Seascape next.
All those specialty restaurants were right there. So you had Ocean K right here. On the next deck above, you had Butcher's Cut. You had the sushi. You had the teppanyaki. And then you had the pub. Like, all that was right there midship on decks. I think it was like 5 and 6. Or 6 and 7. So they were like all right there. I think they should have spaced them out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And made them a little bit bigger. Not that it was an issue, but especially with Ocean K, if you were dining late, you were dealing with the silent disco party, people getting rowdy right there where they're having all those parties. Yeah. That's the one thing that threw me about that. But other than that, the food was good. I had the clams and linguine. I enjoyed that. Had no issues with that. The one thing I did love, like throughout the whole cruise, was those fresh made Bavarian soft pretzels. Like that had me, I was in heaven. And that's the one thing, like if you love cheese or cold cuts or pretzels or breads or rolls, like MSC is the place to go. They fresh bake everything. It's well worth it.
Man, that butcher station where they have like the big roast beast up there that they're cutting off, and then they got the baked apples. So the baked apples were the unsung hero. Like I was getting a baked apple every day. They were so good.
I'm telling you, bro. They got one of the best pizzas at sea, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie, like MSC's got a really good pizza, but they have like this spicy prosciutto pepperoni pizza that they only had like 1 or 2 days out of the whole cruise. So when I went on the first one, I told the guy, I was like, look, I'm coming back in a month. I need that pizza every day. Every time I walked in that buffet, Josh was like, oh, Mr. Mike, pizza? I was like, yep, let's do it. He made
that fresh mozzarella, man. You know, they make the fresh mozzarella right there on the ship.
And you can watch it too, because on the Meraviglia, they have that big glass window where they make the mozzarella. So you'll be able to watch them make the mozzarella there. But I'm telling you, I'm a big advocate for MSC. There's a lot of people out there that tell you MSC is trash, it's garbage. Listen, every cruise line is going to have its downfalls. Every cruise line is going to have issues. There's nobody in this world that can go on one cruise ship and find absolutely no problems. It's not going to work. But I'm telling you, give MSC a shot. The food, you might find some things that are not to your liking, but it's a European-based cruise line in North America. Like they're relatively still new here in the States, and it's well worth it. The price is there, and the food's even there. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Oh, everything was super fresh. I mean, and look, if you like Carnival, fine. Carnival's probably, I'm just going to say it, they're at the bottom of our list, man. It's like on what cruise lines we've been on, it's Royal Caribbean, MSC, and MSC's for us because we enjoyed the food and stuff. Like there was nothing like other than Butcher's Cut. And Butcher's Cut wasn't bad. We just won't do it again. I mean, it's just so, Carnival's got them beat from what I understand. We haven't tried the Carnival Steakhouse. But
you never did Carnival Steakhouse?
Yeah, it's supposed to be great.
Oh, bro, you got to come with me in October. You got to come with me in October. But
like
Marsha, they were hitting that up too.
I mean,
Carnival does a phenomenal steak.
So the buffet, like I judge your food by, I mean, this is just me, but like the quality of your buffet is going to tell me a lot about your overall food quality. And
Right.
Royal's got it going on. I mean, like Royal, you go up into Windjammer, that food is as good as what's in the MDR. To me.
Now, I've never been on a Royal. I got to get on a Royal. I haven't done
Oh,
Royal, but if I had to put it like in a category of like how I would cruise, it would be Princess, NCL, MSC, Carnival. Now, Carnival's only at the bottom of my list because it's a party ship vibe, right? Like,
yeah.
if you've been on Princess and Norwegian, the way their ships are built, the way they're lined up, they're more like not party forced vibe ships. We're talking MSC here with a staircase that's got hundreds of thousands of Swarovski crystals in the staircases. You're not going to find that on a Carnival ship. Now, if all Carnival ships were like the Celebration, the Mardi Gras, the Jubilee, hands down, Carnival would bump up on the list. Now, I do enjoy a small, older Carnival ship, but those would have to be how it would fall on the list for me. And Princess is where I started, man. Like that was my very first cruise when I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite cruise line is whichever one I'm on at that given time.
Absolutely.
And when I say Carnival's at the bottom, like I will book any cruise line like that. I mean, it just if the ports of call are good and the ship fits the mood that we're in, like we'll go. You know, I'm not a Carnival hater. I'm just saying.
No one's saying anything bad about Carnival. Yeah. It's just, I mean, I'm leaving on Carnival in 10 days, man. You know, so it's not that it's bad. Carnival's bad. We're just talking about if you wrap everything together in a big bow, which one would, if you had $5,000 to book a cruise, which one would you book that cruise with? Well, if I'm booking the cruise, it's probably going to be Princess or Norwegian, Royal Caribbean. You know, something that's more bang for the buck. If I want to go and party, then yeah, I'm absolutely book every.
But man, that MSC Yacht Club treatment. I mean, like you don't even have to pay that much to get Yacht Club, and you get a butler.
It's crazy, bro.
I mean, yeah, it's nuts. And I don't know that it's always going to stay that way. I mean, MSC is like the premier cruise line in Europe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're one of the big ones.
I'm sure that they don't have the deals over there that we're getting right now in the States.
I don't know. I'm telling you, dude, it's the same as it is over there because I looked for a cruise in April of 24. It was a 21-day cruise, and it went to Egypt and everything, and it was literally like $325 a person.
Man, that's amazing.
And the one thing I love about MSC is like the upgrade to the next level is only like $150.
Yeah.
So you get the Wi-Fi and the drink package for $150 more versus $800 for a drink package and $200 for Wi-Fi. So, you know, there's definitely some pros and cons to cruising MSC, but I'm pretty much pro with MSC, man. Like that's where I'm at. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to get on another one. Right now, the only thing I got is World America in 25.
Yeah, we don't even have. I mean, shame on us, but like, we don't even know what we're doing in 24 yet. So,
yeah, I got 2 booked. Technically 3 booked in 24, but I'm finishing out this year pretty strong. I mean, I got the Luminosa the end of this month to Alaska, and then I got the Booze Cruise in October, and then I'll be on the second sailing of the Jubilee out of Galveston over New Year's Eve. So that's pretty much like my big ones. But next year, I got some big stuff happening next year, man. It's going to be crazy 24, that's for sure. I'm going to be gone for a whole month over in Europe, so I'll take it.
So on our way out here, we're going to start closing this thing off, just so the people can get some insight into you. So this is going to, I'm going to throw a question your way, and then you can throw one back at me, whatever you want to choose.
Okay.
You can repeat what I ask, or you can pick something different. I don't care. But when Naughty is not traveling, is not cruising, and not vlogging or editing a video, what is Naughty doing?
Probably working.
I'm talking about hobbies, bro.
Oh, I mean, I'm being honest. I work, bro, 6 days a week, my dude. Like, so I like to fish. I enjoy fishing. Just spending some time with the kids, watching a movie with the kids, going in the pool with the kids. You know, I live in Florida, so I get lucky to be able to use the pool at least 10 months out of 12. Other than that, man, it's pretty much just work, home, kids. I really don't have a lot of young friends. Most of my friends are in their 40s and up. And
damn,
I don't really have friends that live in Florida.
He just called me old.
I'm not calling you old. I'm calling you my friend. I mean, if you're feeling like you're
I'm your
old,
old
I mean,
friend.
that's on you, oldie. But nah, man, it's it. You know, I just spend as much time as I can with my kids, and just enjoy the time with them. They're in the Roblox. I can't get in the Roblox. I can't sit there for hours and play Roblox.
Yeah.
And I'm always watching something on TV that my mind doesn't have to focus on. Now, I see you and Chastity like to do a lot of different things. So what is it you and her like to do on your down days?
Man, it varies, man. So, we try to take every Friday and do a date night and do something different. But you know, if we had to choose, if I had to choose what we're gonna do, so we're into several things, but right now we're heavy in disc golf.
Okay.
Love some disc golf, and we like to fish, so those are our two big things. And of course, we enjoy a good cocktail. So
Oh yeah, I know. I got that text message yesterday.
yeah, man. We found some good spots down in Norfolk,
Nice.
Virginia. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, like we need to do a vlog now because as long as we've been here, we really hadn't spent a whole lot of time in Norfolk, especially down like hanging out and doing things.
Right.
But the hang down there is great. I mean, there's great bars, good environments, all within a walking distance of the cruise port. So yeah, it's cool. Need to do Boats and Bros, man. Boats and Bros out of Norfolk.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got Boats and Bros 3 happening in February out of Port Canaveral on the Vista. So, 4 could be out of Norfolk.
Boats and Bros. Not a group cruise though, right? It's just a group of guys.
Just a group of guys, man. That's all it is. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't talk about it like it's a group cruise. It started out with me, Scott, Chuck, and Tony B from Lalita Loca. We went on the Margaritaville at Sea. And then the following year, which was this year, it was a bunch of us, and we just met up, went on the Pride, and just had a good 4-day cruise together. We don't, hold each other's hands and walk around and do a ton of group events. We literally just go on the cruise.
I'm
and
out, man.
If
you're not going to hold hands with me, I'm out.
I mean, I'll hold hands with you, and my other hand will run through your beard as long as you run through my beard. I'm all right with that. But no, man, we don't plan like group events or anything. The most we planned on the last one was Paradise Beach Club in Cozumel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I just know there are people out there that like they book their cruises based off of, is it a group cruise or not?
Yeah, no. I mean, I give incentives if anybody books through me for the group cruise, but it's just a bunch of us guys going just to hang out because, like I said, man, most of my friends are in other states. Like Chuck lives in Georgia, Scott lives in the Panhandle, Joe is in North Carolina. Everybody's spread out. Cameron's in Kansas, so it's a way for us to be able to meet at least once a year.
Yeah,
go on a cruise and just enjoy ourselves.
For sure.
Yeah,
I love the name, man. So like, you need to copyright that.
Yeah, I got a couple of things that are in the works to get in copywritten right now.
I mean, just talk to your people over there at Prestige Worldwide. They'll take care of it.
Yeah, boats and boats.
All right. So, hey, this is what's going to happen, right? So this is going to go down once a month. The plan right now is the third Monday of every month, subject to change, but monthly podcasts being released will go live just like this each and every time. It will definitely be on Mondays at 8:30. I think that works out good. There's not a whole lot of people doing lives. We hope this thing grows. I thought we were entertaining. I don't know.
Yeah,
that probably means it was a terrible show. That's usually what happens.
I enjoy just the conversation back and forth and not having to worry about the chat, right? Like,
you
always worry about the chat when you're going live or you want to interact with everybody. But I think it's a good way to, like you said in the beginning, get to know your creators on a different level. So, and the great thing with this is like, it was just me and you this week. Next time we're bringing somebody on that doesn't have facial hair. So you'll get to look at somebody else with no beard. But I mean, I think it's good. I think it's going to work out well. I think some people enjoyed it. There might be some people that didn't enjoy it, and I'm pretty sure they'll let us know. But I mean, look,
man.
It's a conversation between me and you. It's just like if we were on the phone together, except we recorded it and let everybody else watch how it happens.
So yeah, man. So August, our guest will be Coach Cruz. So we're coming out hot, man, with the big guns. We got Coach Cruz coming up. Then right after Coach Cruz, We've got Mike Lovelace from Lovey's Fat Life, and we're working on something special for October. We'll see what we got coming in October, but
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, man. It'll be a big reveal. Regardless, though, like it's going to be somebody. So again, if you're interested in coming on, and you don't have to be cruising, you don't even necessarily have to be a travel channel. If it can be linked to travel in some way, and you're interested in coming on, shoot us an email. It's down in the description. It'll also be hung in the description on the podcast link. Let us know if you want to come on. Give us your handle and a description of why you want to come on, and we'll consider it, and we'll get in contact with you. But we really appreciate everyone that came and hung out with us tonight. Mike, as always, brother, I appreciate you. This was a great time.
Man,
I can't wait to do it again.
Listen,
Thanks.
man, we got the boost cruise coming up. So you only got me in August and September and October. Then we're gonna be on a ship together. So
that's right.
I don't know what's gonna happen after October, but
we may not be able to ever go on another cruise again. We might be on here recently. Did you see the last one with the fight where people were getting arrested on the Carnival cruise ship? Insane. I mean, we won't be fighting, but I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Listen, let me tell you something. If you're going to go on a cruise, leave your fighting at home. Not only your fighting, but leave your drugs at home too, because you're the reason we got canine dogs on the cruise ships now.
So, hey, we're out of here, guys. Thank you guys so much. We will be back here in August doing this once again. I enjoyed it. I appreciate you, Nadia. I appreciate everyone that checked us out. We're out.
Peace.